Hey guys, it's Amber. Welcome back to my channel. Today I just wanted to do a more casual video and talk about some of the books that I'm currently reading. So curl up on your couch, grab a cup of tea, and let's talk books. So I'm trying to cut back on the number of books that I am buying every single month, just because I have a good amount of books on my shelves that I haven't read, and I'm making my way through those, and I don't want to add a ton of books while I'm trying to get through all of those books. So baby steps, because buying books just makes me happy. So I am checking out a ton more from the library. So before I get into some books that I just purchased from Book Outlet that I can't wait to read, I'm going to show you some of the library books that I'm currently reading and plan to finish this month. So first up is Attachments by Rainbow Rowell. Rainbow Rowell is one of my favorite authors. One of my favorite books of all time is Eleanor and Park, one of her YA novels. And I've read almost everything. No, I've read everything else she's ever written. This is the last book by her that I need to finish. So I'm about 160 pages in, and it's not super long. It's a little over 300 pages, so I'll probably finish this up sometime this week, maybe over the long holiday weekend. But I'm liking it a lot so far. It's really good, great characters. Rainbow Rowell just does a really good job of writing kind of quirky, unexpected romance. So if you haven't checked her out, I highly recommend her. The next book on my currently reading list is a book that was just released this year that I'm really excited about. I checked out from the library What We Lose by Zinzi Clemens, and first of all, the cover is just stunning. Like, look at that. And I've seen a lot of really great reviews and notes about this book so far. I will read the synopsis because I'm not 1000% sure of it. So, raised in Pennsylvania, Thandi views the world of her mother's childhood in Johannesburg as both impossibly distant and ever-present. She is an outsider. Wherever she goes, caught between being black and white, American and not. She tries to connect these dislocated pieces of her life, and as her mother succumbs to cancer, Thandi searches for an anchor, someone or something to love. We watch Thandi's life unfold from losing her mother and learning to live without the person who has most profoundly shaped her existence, to her own encounters with romance and unexpected motherhood. So this sounds right up my alley. It's like the perfect literary fiction, and it's a black author if you're looking to read more black authors during Black History Month. The next book that I've checked out from the library that I'm planning on reading this month is Stay With Me by Ayobami Adebayo, and this book was a Scribbles Read book choice last month, and I wasn't able to grab it in time and finish. So the book is about a married couple in Nigeria. I know that they're trying to get pregnant, and then there are some cultural things that really disrupt just the overall setup and function of their marriage. I know it deals a lot with family, husband and wife relations, and also the issue of polygamy and how that plays out in different cultures. So I'm excited to start this one soon. The last library book that I have checked out that I want to talk to you guys about is this month's Scribbles Reads Book Club Book of the Month. And if you guys aren't sure what that is, Scribbles Reads is basically a book club started by Joss from Scribbles Reads, who has a YouTube channel where she talks a lot about books, authors, and she started this book club primarily on Goodreads that picks a book by a different diverse author every month for you to follow along. And then she does a live Instagram chat, as well as has some chats on Goodreads that you can participate in. So I'm so excited because I haven't been able to hop on to any of the books so far, and I finally was able to check one out from the library in time, and I know I'm gonna have time to finish it this month. So right now everyone is reading Refuge by Dina Nayeri. I'm really excited to read this book. It deals a lot with immigration. Our main character is an Iranian immigrant who comes to America, and I know it deals with a lot of family relationships, which always makes for an interesting read to me. And I'm hoping to start this one within the next few days so I can start posting in the book club chats and participating in the conversation with everyone. If you're interested in joining that book club, I will leave a link to the Goodreads below. You do have to request before you're allowed in, but it's just to make sure that everyone who's participating in the book club is someone who's going to support the community. So I definitely recommend it. Joss is awesome. I'll also leave a link to her channel. If you're looking to read more diversely or just read really great books, I highly recommend following her. Okay, so on to the books that I bought. I recently made a very small, in my defense, Book Outlet purchase book outlet purchase, and I grabbed a couple of books that I've had my eye on for a while. They'd all been sitting in my cart for like a couple of weeks, so I was like, you know, work is stressful, things are crazy, let's treat ourselves to a couple new books. So the first book I want to show you is one I've seen all over the internet, and everyone keeps recommending it as like a really fun start to a cute fantasy series, and that is A Natural History of Dragons, a memoir of Lady Trent by Marie Brennan. First of all, another just gorgeous cover. This book is it's a fiction book, it's a fantasy novel, and it is a memoir of Lady Trent, the world's preeminent dragon naturalist. She is the remarkable woman who brought the study of dragons out of the misty shadows of myth and misunderstanding into the clear light of modern science. But before she became the illustrious figure we know today, there was a bookish young woman whose passion for learning, natural history, and yes, dragons defied the stifling conventions of her day. So I'm excited to see how this portrays a woman set in kind of like medieval times who's interested in science, and how it kind of redeems the times and the period that they're in by creating just like a really killer main character. So I have high expectations for this book, and I hope I can get to it before the end of the month. The next book I want to show you is one I've had my eye on for literally months and months and months, and it's again another really gorgeous cover. It's called 5 to 1 by Holly Bodger, and it's set in the year 2054, and after decades of gender selection, India has a ratio of 5 boys for every girl, making women an incredibly valuable commodity. Tired of wedding their daughters to the highest bidder and determined to finally make marriage fair, the women who form the country of Kanagar have instituted a series of tests so that every boy has a chance to win a wife. So I'm really excited. That's such an interesting premise to me, and a lot of the book is written in verse, and they're the really pretty kind of illustrations. Let's see. So the book has these really gorgeous like illustrations and sketches, and it's formatted in a really interesting way, so I can't wait to get into it. I just really love the concept. It's also pretty short. It's only, let's see the page count, 244 pages, so I can probably knock this out like in a couple of hours, and it's really interesting. Like I'm just so drawn to that premise. So the next book that I want to show you is called Aftercare Instructions by Bonnie Pipkin. Another cute cover. I definitely did really well with covers this go round. The thing I wish I'd known, I love you doesn't come with any guarantees. This one is about a young girl who's a 17-year-old girl named Genesis, and she lives in a small town in New Jersey. She's described as like a troubled teen, like your classic troubled, misled, wrong path kind of case. And I think she ends up having an unexpected pregnancy, and it's about her life kind of dealing with that. I have a good feeling about this book. I have a really good feeling about this book. I heard pretty good things, and there are not a ton of reviews on YouTube or Goodreads for it, so hopefully I can share my thoughts with you guys after I'm finished. All right, last book that I have to talk about, and then we can wrap this video because I've been talking for a long time according to my camera. So last month or the month before, I started a new fantasy trilogy that I was pretty much certain that I was not going to like. It was a YA fantasy novel, and at that point I had read a few other YA fantasies and they just weren't doing it for me, so I kind of had really low expectations, and the first book blew those expectations like completely away. I loved the book. I fell in love with all of the characters. The plot was really interesting. The magic system was really intriguing. So I had to pick up book 2, and that is Avenged, which is the second book in Amy Tintera's Ruined series. So the first book is called Ruined. This is the second book, Avenged, and the third book I believe is called Allied, which comes out in May. If it's not out already, I'll double check, and all the books that I've mentioned will be linked down below. So I can't tell you much about the second book in the series without spoiling a lot of what happened in the first. So to give you like a quick synopsis of how the series is set up overall, we follow our main character Em, who comes from a kingdom called Ruina that has been destroyed by war. Her parents were killed and her oldest sister was kidnapped. So the people who live in Ruina are called the Ruined, and that is also the magic that operates within them. It gives them kind of these indescribable powers of strength and mind and mental capability. They can kind of control the elements, and each Ruined has their powers manifest in different way and have markings on their bodies that indicate that they are ruined. So Em, our main character, is on a quest to avenge her parents and also save Olivia, her older sister, who was kidnapped when their country was savaged by war. Even though she's royalty, has never shown any signs of having ruined magic, so she's kind of seen as like the disappointing royal child that wasn't really what everyone thought she was going to be. Her mom was a really powerful ruined queen, and everyone kind of thought she would follow in her mother's footsteps, but because she never showed signs of magic, she's not really seen as having much capability. In order to save her sister Olivia, she has to go to the kingdom where her older sister was taken by. She hatches a plan to marry the prince there, undercover of course, overpower the royal family, avenge her family, and get her sister back to Rowena to establish a seat on the throne and bring their country back. I know that synopsis was probably all over the place, but just trust me, the book was so good. I loved it so much, and now I'm so excited to get into book 2. All right guys, that's all the books I have to talk to you about today. I know you guys are always asking me what I'm currently reading, what books are on my next up pile. Comment below if you'd like me to do something like this every month, just to talk about what books I just got my hands on, what I've checked out from my library. It's always funny to me to see the books that I start the month thinking I'm going to read and then what books I actually end up finishing. I guarantee you not all of these books are going to be read. There's 2 weeks left in the month and I've only started one of these. But I have already finished, I think, 4 books this month. 3 of them were on audio. It's just nice to know you can have that audiobook on in the background and still be getting things done. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Are you not subscribed to this channel yet? What are you waiting for? Hit the subscribe button down below and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!